So now in this video, we're going to look at the NOR logic gate. I'm using the integrated circuit, the 74HC02. And we have the truth table right here. So in OR gate, the output will be low unless one, the other, or both inputs are high. So this is the NOR gate, not OR gate. We have the opposite. So the output is only going to be low if we have, now it's floating, so it's picking up stray signals in the air, they're bouncing back and forth, and I should make sure I discharge myself when I do this. And there you can see, we got one high input, there is the low output. We can do the same with the trim pot. Now there is a middle ground region, unfortunately. This is not a Schmitt trigger right there. I think they're oscillating back and forth when they're both lit up. There's a small region. But in any case, I go high, we got low. So if I go high there, it's low. If I go high here, it's low. If I go high at both of them, of course it's going to stay low. So it's the opposite of the OR gate. It's the NOR gate. Now the NOR gate is one of the universal logic gates. There's NOR and NAND. You can combine these NOR gates to make any other logic gate if you have enough of them, and all kinds of other circuitry as well. Although I believe people usually use NAND for whatever reason. So, in any case, we'll zoom in. Yeah, and these integrated circuits, I made this diagram a while ago, but I trust what I wrote is correct. Always consult the data sheet yourself, though. But yeah, it looks like we can use 2 to 6 volts. There are 4 NAND gates on this integrated circuit. I'm using that one. Started pointing to the 3 I'm not using, and so we got 3 that I'm not using. The inputs A and B, you want to tie them to a solid voltage, you know, the positive supply or the negative supply. You can go through a resistor, that's plenty fine, but otherwise give it either 0 volts or 5 volts. We're using 5 volts in this circuit, whatever the positive supply is. So that is an input up there, and so is a supply voltage, I should say, and that's a supply voltage down there, not inputs, supply voltage, positive, negative. This is an input, these two. And so yeah, I plucked that one. I meant to put a yellow in its place. So I wonder if we have straight right now. So we got 11. Since I screwed that up, it didn't really change the circuit we were looking at, but I'm going to grab a yellow jumper. I meant to do this earlier, and I'll edit this out if it takes so long. Okay, that should be not too long, I don't think. It's a short video. But yeah, we got 11 milliamps on there, and I should discharge myself. I would hold that down if I didn't have the camera in the way, but I'm going to go positive, supply to that input. Okay, current did not go down, so if you notice, you're using more current when there's inputs floating. That's why there's oscillations going on. But we didn't see that there. So, but we could have. If the current went down, it just went down 1, but that may have happened anyways. If the current went down a bit, then we would know that was causing oscillations. That was, you know, wasting current in the integrated circuit and doing who knows what else. I don't know what all could go wrong, but it's best to tie all the inputs to a supply voltage. Again, consult the data sheet for the specifics of what you should do. So I'm using the HC version. There's 7402. There's other versions. 74 is the series of integrated circuits. There's also 4000, 40. I don't think they have different types. But in any case, the 7400 series does. So it's 74. And then 02 lets you know there's 4 NAND gates. They are not Schmitt trigger NAND gates, and they're I think it's a push-pull output instead of open collector or open drain, whatever. So there's different versions of the NOR gate as well. So again, you know, look at the data sheet. And there, yeah, I wrote that high-speed CMOS version. LS used to be common, low-power Schottky. I think high-speed CMOS ended up being the final one that took over. Most of the time, you can probably pull out an LS version and put a high-speed CMOS version in its place. But that's not a guarantee. Again, always consult the data sheet and the particular circuit you're using. So there is a truth table. Again, any high input equals a low output. The opposite of OR. It's NOR right there. And yeah, I'm using a trim pot for one input right there. We can adjust the voltage again. This one is sensitive to middle ground voltage, which is no surprise because it's not a Schmitt trigger right there. And then the jumper there, again, that's floating in the air. It is picking up stray signals. I should discharge myself before I touch it. But you can see when I pull this out, I think it's not getting as bad as strays because I was grounding myself there. So that's how sensitive the inputs are. It can tell that sometimes it looks like that I got my finger on the negative supply instead of it just being floating in the air right there. You can see it bouncing back and forth. Yeah, that's positive. I'll go back to a negative. I already demonstrated this. Let's do it not quick again right there. Any high input or both high inputs, all inputs I should say, because some NOR gates will have more than 2 inputs. But they need at least 2 for the NOR gate. And just as a reminder, red LED, you can see that resistor is going to the negative supply. Long lead, the anode, is to the output. So it lights up when the output is high. And then blue LED, the output is connected to ground as best as it can. Its resistor is to the positive supply. 1000 ohm resistor, just because blue LEDs are naturally brighter than red LEDs. So we don't need as much current to get the same brightness right there. Stuff I cover a lot in other videos, but I'm going to end it there. So thanks for watching. Make sure you check out one of the other videos I'm posting on the screen, and check out links down below. They all help out a lot. I'll see you in the next video.